This, according to the Census Bureau, 109.6 million people live in a household in America that receives one or more government benefits. That does not include Social Security. Those are benefits like Medicaid, food stamps, subsidized rental housing, for example. President of the Center for Urban Renewal and Education is Star Parker, and she is here. By the way, new book from Star Parker, Blind Conceit: Politics, Policy, and Racial Polarization Moving Forward to Save America. That's an e-book.
Yes, it is. Only on you have to go to one of the e-book sites. Stuart, we have to move into the 21st century. We've got to go on the e-book sites and Amazon, iTunes.
Apple.
Yeah, Apple.
The only company who's never sued, by the way.
I don't have to ask my grandchildren exactly where it is, but it's only in e right now. You cannot get it in a hard copy.
Now, here's the premise of my argument with you.
What is it?
I say that President Obama has won, that he has basically changed the nature of America because we have become a majority handout society. I know that you oppose that view, and you oppose this handout society, but I put it to you.
Yeah.
Obama won, you lost.
Well, unfortunately, you might be true, but I would hope that we're not dead. I hope that we are just on life support. But you're absolutely right, Stuart. I'm telling you, what we're looking at now in terms of numbers, the collapse of family, those that are dependent on government, is a long way from the dream, if you will.
But the president has done this deliberately.
Yes, he has done it. Well, it's not just him. But it's the strategy of the Democrats. Let's face it, Black America got caught up first based on this political promise of social justice. And when you think about where we are today compared to when Frederick Douglass was asked, when they were looking at releasing 4 million ex-slaves at the time, black slaves into the society, and they asked, what do we do with them? He said, do nothing with them. Let them live free. If they fall, they fall. If they can get up, they can. That's what America's all about. But what happened?
But wait a minute. What signs do you see that we're going to reverse the trend?
We're going to reverse it. Well, this is what I talk about in Blind Conceit. You're absolutely right. They are so blind, they're so arrogant that they don't even see how wicked they are. They don't even see the damage that their own programs have done. Because when you think about where we got lost as a community, black people, that now is expanded into the greater society, as you're pointing out, with all of this addiction to government. We got lost after the death of King. 3 things happened during that time, and I talk about it in my book. We had, during the 60s, a war on religion, a war on poverty, and a war on marriage at the same time. So the most vulnerable in our society got caught up first. Remember, King was about, he wanted repentance and revival, but this social justice community, they want revenge and redistribution. So we got caught up in this promise of social justice, redistribution of wealth, and it collapsed family life, which collapses community life. You know that. I mean, anyone can get out of poverty if they wanted to. They just have to finish school. They've got to work. They've got to marry before they produce children.
Our favorite lawyer here is writing notes. What are you writing?
Are you writing notes?
Well, I think you're dead right. And the sad part about it is government that expands and becomes the provider for everyone is the government that destroys the family, destroys the churches, destroys the synagogues, destroys those groups that historically have provided. Historically, if there's a problem with one of my relatives, I'm a family member, I step in.
Right.
There's a church that steps in.
That's right.
But now we've got the government, and the government says, we don't need you churches, we don't need the family, we'll do it.
And it's even worse than that, because what we did was we put public policy together that destroyed. You know my story. I mean, I lived that lie. The rules of welfare were don't work, don't save, don't get married, and they'll keep you enslaved to this government poverty plantation. And you're absolutely right. Over time, there's a displacement of that is healthy, and that helps people break cycles of dependency.
Name of the book,
poverty.
please?
It's called Blind Conceit.
Blind Conceit. So if I go on Amazon, I can buy this e-book.
Yes, and find out how we're going to move America forward from racial polarization.
Star, it was a great pleasure having you with us today in New York City. We appreciate it.
I know. You're welcome.